What do you mean, what's my favorite scary movie? I thought we already covered this. My favorite scary movie is It, 1990, starring Tim Curry. Yes, I know who the killer is in Friday the 13th. It's Jason's mom in part 1. Then the rest, it's Jason. Yeah, you thought she was gonna get me with that one. Good try, good try. No, I'm not gonna tell you who you're looking at. So let's get started on this ranking. So before we start, I really like this Scream franchise. I think it's great. It's probably, in my opinion, the most solid franchise out there as far as the sequels are concerned. I think all the sequels in this franchise are very solid movies. You can watch them and they're not unbearable to sit through. So, that's a plus. However, I did not incorporate season 3 of the TV series in this ranking. I did incorporate seasons 1 and 2. I did not put the third installment or reboot or whatever you want to call it because A, I didn't finish watching it because I got 2 episodes in, got so bored, turned it off, and never went back. So, it's not on here. So, we have 5 slots. Starting off at number 5 is going to be Scream 3. I'm not a huge fan of Scream 3. I think that the ending is a little wonky. You have Roman, he's Sidney's brother, and this is all him, but he's also the director of the Stab movie, where all this stuff is going wrong. You have some pretty rough acting in here at times, not from your main group, not from, Sidney or any of them. Mainly the actors playing as actors. It's just, I know what was written in there. I just don't like the way that was. It just it took you out of the movie because you want serious kills from Scream. That's what we're used to. So, this was a little cheesy for me and not in a good way, but it's okay. It's still pretty solid. Number 4 on this list, ironically, is going to be Scream 4. I like Scream 4. It's solid. I like the fact that Jill is just delusional and wants the spotlight, and that is her motive for doing this. It's a decent sequel. There's nothing really special about it in my opinion. I kind of forget about Scream 4 often. I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty sure the only reason I can still remember Scream 3 is because of Courtney Cox's hideous haircut. Number 3 on this list is going to be Scream 2. Now, I want to talk about this movie for a little bit because Scream 2 is a really, really good sequel, and here's why. You definitely don't want the sequel to be worse to the point where you don't really want to see anything after that. You still want to leave, some open opportunities after that. Unlike what Halloween did. You have Halloween 1, 2, then you have Season of the Witch, and everything just kind of got thrown off. So, you didn't necessarily need to have a sequel to Scream, but it was definitely open. I think they did wonderful using Billy Loomis's mother as the killer, because here's the thing. By the time you finish Scream 1, you're not really thinking about, oh, Billy's mom. Maybe she's crazy. So I think that was amazing. The fact that Laurie Metcalf was Billy Loomis's mother is amazing. I love Laurie Metcalf. She plays Jackie and Roseanne, and that is a very beloved character to me and my mother. So I was super, super, super happy to see that Jackie was the crazy killer when I first watched Scream 2 when I don't remember how old, but I was young, so I probably didn't know her name or anything. I just knew her as Jackie. So Scream 2 was awesome. I like how it followed Sidney to college, and it still made sense. Everything just transferred over quite nicely. You still have your main characters. However, Randy's death just killed me. I was so devastated. Randy is probably one of my favorite horror characters ever. So to see his character be the one to be killed was devastating, but it had to happen. Number 2 on this list is actually going to be the TV series. I incorporated seasons 1 and 2 together because it was the same story. I really enjoyed the TV series. I enjoyed the modern twist of Scream. And that's the cool thing about Scream. The story can be used in different ways over and over and over again. It's not going to get old. If you just, modernize it, you adapt it, and it'll continue working. And I think that it worked very well. I love The Mask. I think The Mask was super creepy. Much scarier than the original, in my opinion. I liked the story of Daisy and just how it all transpired. And I think that the story of Scream fit beautifully on the silver screen. Just having more time to give it more of a mystery element, I think was super effective. And believe me, when you watch this series, you really don't know who the killer is throughout each season. So I think they do a really good job. At least I couldn't guess it personally. I'm sure there are plenty of people that were like, well, I knew who it was. Well, okay, well, good for you, but I did not. So I think the TV series does not get talked about enough. So for me, it's definitely number 2 on this list, and it earns its spot 100%. And of course, number 1 is going to be the original. How can you not love the original? I mean, from the fact that it opens up with Drew Barrymore, and even in the short time she was on screen, I mean, amazing. I think that the use of that too was super effective. To have, Drew Barrymore was a big name, especially in the 90s. Don't get me wrong, we all love Neve Campbell, and she is my personal favorite Scream Queen, but at the time, Drew Barrymore was a household name. And so to have that twist of thinking that Drew Barrymore was going to be the main character, and then boom, she just gets slaughtered, that's amazing. And that's Wes Craven. Wes Craven knows what he's doing. And ironically enough, for a movie that was in all seriousness supposed to be a joke, it turned out to be one of the most terrifying and effective slasher movies of a generation. So Scream 1 definitely deserves its praises. Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, David Arquette all do a phenomenal job. You have Matthew Lillard, who does not get talked about enough, playing as Stu, and I think just the cast was amazing. The ending was great, and you really don't know who the killer is until about midway through the movie. You kind of get a really good hint because Billy Loomis starts acting a little shady up in the movie store, and I was just kind of like, yeah, no, you just kind of gave yourself away. Like, we all know it's you now. However, I did not suspect Matthew Lillard to be the killer, and so that kind of caught me off guard. But, phenomenal movie. So, now hearing about that Scream 5 is in post-production now, it's already finished, so that'll be releasing soon. I really hope that, COVID stops, being around, and we can go see this movie in the theaters the way it's supposed to be watched. And I just really hope they do this franchise justice. And I can't wait to do a video on Scream 5, so watch out for that whenever Scream 5 decides to drop. And that's the first ranking video. So you drop in the comments, what are some other ranking videos you would like to see? You name them, I'll probably do them, because I don't have much of a life, and scary movies are just kind of what I do. So you keep watching scary movies, I'll keep talking about them. Chucky here says don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because, I'm going to do these videos weekly, multiple a week, unless life gets a little more crazy in 2021. So don't forget to subscribe, and y'all keep it creepy.